spending the next 20 to 30 minutes. My goal for you is 100% clarity on what GRN is, why I believe it's superior to alternatives, and I'll show you some reasons why I believe that right now. But my point is this: I want you to listen real closely, because what I want to do is answer your specific questions. Okay? But really quick, let me give you the backbone of how this whole thing happens. And I believe what I'm about to draw is the next big illustration for GRN. I've had a few crazy drawings in the past that have really made a lot of people a lot of money. And this is what I believe is going to be the next one. So you guys can be the judge. But this is what we're going to call a timeshare property. Okay? And the whole thing behind why GRN is, while other MLMs are collapsing or they just have paper fire growth, they make money quick and then they fade, is because at the end of the day, the product has to be very solid. I just got my hair cut. My hair cutter lady was like, here's the deal. I just had a hair transplant by the top guy in the world in Scottsdale. Okay, there's a little bit too much information for everybody. But here's what happened. She's like, wow, I mean, how much did that cost? And I'm like, oh, it was like $9K or something or whatever. And she's like, really? What do you do? And I'm like, I'm an online guy, whatever. And she said, I was in, and I'm going to, I don't care. I'm going to say the company. She said World Ventures. Now, this isn't ragging on World Ventures. I don't even care. I don't even know that much about it. But her big thing with World Ventures was, she said, it was big really fast, but then there's no way I'm going to keep paying that money over and over for that website. I think it's like $50 a month, and you get kind of like a Travelocity or Expedia website. You make commissions as people book through that engine. YTB was a similar concept, and California shut them down, and they got cracked down because there's really, at the end of the day, it's not legal to charge people for worthless things. I mean, it's not, if you say you can charge people for worthless things, but if there's a money-making opportunity attached to it, you just can't do that. It's not legal to do. So I'm not saying World Ventures falls under a pyramid or a scam, but that was her feeling on it. And the big difference there is our product has been around since 1986. Okay, and this timeshare resort property, which I have to now start over to draw this picture. Here's the big picture. This is how our product fuels the whole thing. So here's the palm tree. This is the water back here. We're going to do mountains over here. You've got your lanai over here. Okay, this is the property. There are basically people that grew up in timeshare properties. Now, you contrast that with a hotel over here. A hotel usually has a bed and a TV and a little shower area. This has full kitchens, so it has full kitchens, full tables, full living rooms, separate rooms. Some of them have different stories. And basically, there's a whole group of people that will only go on vacation and stay at a timeshare type property. And there's mainly three ways that people get there. The number one biggest way, $6 billion of sales last year, was in what we call retail timeshare sales. This is when they're at the resort, the person comes and tours, and they sell them a timeshare for $20,000 2 weeks a year. And they say, hey, it's cheaper than buying a vacation home. Plus, with the exchange program, you can stay at different timeshares. Maintenance fees are $500 to $800 a month or a year. And you've got kind of like a second vacation home, or you got a vacation home, and it's only 20 grand, not bad. That's the most pricey and most popular way to get to timeshare. That's the normal road. Now, the next road, which a lot of people are taking right now, is cheaper, and it's called the reseller road. Okay, and this is very important that you realize this, because the top affiliates in GRN, the ones that are going to continue to make the long-term money and have people that get it and stay with it and love it, are people that understand this. Resale is people who buy big over here, and then they go, oh man, so they put it on a resale market, and it's usually about 50% cheaper. So they're selling this same 2 weeks at this property for $10,000 instead of 20. Okay, there's the reseller market. Then there's a third way that's cheaper, but it's really the most inconvenient probably. That would be kind of the Expedia route. This is Expedia. It's getting a little cheaper here, but the kicker with Expedia and these kind of things is usually you're paying $1,500 to $2,500 for a 1 week stay. $1,500 to $2,500 for the same thing. So if you go every year, it'd be cheaper to do the resale thing. Right now, resale is absolutely booming. It's a huge market. Retail is still actually booming. Of course, most people know about Expedia. Now, the kicker though, so the big kicker is what GRN does is I don't even like to put any width to this. GRN is its own little animal. And what it allows you to do is get to the exact same property. See, we're all going to the exact same property here. And I'm going to demonstrate it in just 1 second. But for over here, for $3,000, one time, you have a lifetime of travel, and it can be back to this resort or a cornucopia of other resorts. And you're usually paying between $298 upwards of $799 per week maximum, but the average is usually about $550. So GRN for $3,000, it's just the skinniest, fastest little way to this same exact property. Now, when I get this on a fancy little chart, it's going to be really persuasive, and I'm excited about it. But let me prove it to you real quick. The Sheraton Vistana, okay? This is a resort in Orlando. It's big with the Disney. It's a mile from Disney. It's a Sheraton. Sheratons are classy. They're awesome. They've got the full spa, the health clubs. These things, the playgrounds, the pool areas, several different pools. You can look at the pictures in here. An example is this. You're going to have the full kitchen. You're going to have a little living room area, dining room area, bedrooms, these kind of things. This is the resale market. On retail, this is probably going to go for upwards of $20,000. So here we are on the resale market, and what you're looking at when you see usage type like even, this means 1 week every other year, $8,000 plus. Guess what you get to do? Guess what you get to do on top of the $8,000? You get to pay probably for a Sheraton $800 a year forever. Probably guaranteed increases to keep the resort modern in maintenance fees. So this is the Sheraton Vistana, or however you say it. Now you can hop into our little travel membership here, and this is exactly inside the travel membership. And if you look right here, what you're going to see is the Sheraton Vistana Resort. I mean, look at it. It's a Sheraton. This is obviously the master suite inside. There's 2 bedrooms, including the living room and all this stuff. It's the exact same property, folks, just like the little picture I drew. And you can see the beautiful thing of the maintenance fees, as you can see on this picture, this is granite countertop, leather chairs, oak-ish. I shouldn't say those are oak. I don't frickin' know what they are, but they're classy kitchens. They're upkeep, and this is what people in the resale and the retail market pay. They pay yearly to keep modern the resorts. Now with GRN, we hop over to the Sheraton freaking Resort. Sheraton. It's a great resort, and we can go over there $689 for a 2-bedroom. That is cheaper than $100 a night for a 2-bedroom, classed out, a mile from Disney. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And what happens is in our membership, you're able to zoom over to this resort. Now, if you book this on Expedia, you guys can do this on your own time. If you were to look at Expedia for these exact same dates, what you'd find is it's probably in the $1,500 to $1,800 for that exact same. Who would like me? Blink your hand if you want me to do it on the spot. I have not checked it, so I could be setting myself up right now. But okay, I've got enough to do it real quick, and so let's do it real quick. So Sheraton, here's all I do to compare resorts, people who own the GRN membership. I copy, I go up here, I find TripAdvisor, I paste, I Google it. TripAdvisor usually pops up, which is right here. It's got a 4-star rating out of over 1,100 reviews. Sheratons are awesome, so that's to be expected. I'm going over here. I'm going to check in the date, the exact same date, which was April 24th check-in. So let me get to April 24th check-in. Boom, 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 boom. April 24th, Sunday, check out. May 1st, adults, whatever. I'm only going to check. I'm not going to bother with all these. I'm just going to do Expedia and Travelocity because those are usually the cheapest, I've learned. Here we go. Survey says, remember it was 6 whatever it was with no tax. What we have for Expedia here is scrolling down, 209 a night. That's not counting tax, my friends, I guarantee it. That's but that's only a 1-bedroom. Right here, this is what this would be the equivalent. That's 243 a night, 2-bedroom. And let's just click book now. By the time you pay taxes, you are at $1,903, and that's the cheap. Expedia is the cheapest, usually the cheapest option out there. So on just this one resort, you do the math, 66% savings or something with GRN. Clap for the GRN membership, everybody. This is like an infomercial where they chop up those vegetables so fast, and the people are out there freaking out going, ooh, ah. Well, this really isn't staged, okay? This is a case in point, okay? This is an amazing thing. Now, the difference between GRN and some of the competition is they do not have access to the resorts that we have, and let me explain why. This particular Sheraton is a member-to-member trade, meaning we have way over, and I was only allowed to say we have 65,000 members. That's the most I'm allowed to say, although I argued to say more, but they said, no, you only say 65. So out of 65,000 members, a lot of our members have condos, and it costs a lot of money to list them on websites like timesharesonly.com. Let's see what, by the way, let's see what these guys charged. Same thing, this is the 2-bedroom. And if you went through Web Travelocity, it would be roughly the same deal, $1,865. So there's a case in point. You cannot find deals like you even remotely close with GRN. But here's the thing. This is a member within GRN who, for free, if you have a timeshare, you can host it to promote it to all our affiliate base, and then what happens is it serves as a rental. So I've talked to owners who have 3 or 4 timeshares, and they consistently rent them out within our member-to-member rentings. The most you can charge with GRN in the USA, outside of Hawaii, is $699. So this member, even though he could go or she could go and post it for $1,500 or $2,000 on Craigslist or something, because the membership says if you're going to promote with us, you can only do $699. That's the contract we have with the resorts. That's why it's on here. That's how the deal works. Okay, so we have a huge access. So there's been not just Sheratons. I have seen lots of Marriotts come on board. There are some amazing resorts that there's a community inside our travel product that is crucial. Now, I want to do questions on the product itself, especially for those of you who started raising your hand and you had questions. I'm not going to call you out unless you want me to. That's fine. But questions on the product in particular. There's many things about the product. In fact, Sharon Irwin, I'm going to call you out because you're kind of our up-and-coming retail queen here. And I just saw you out here. I'm going to unmute you, Sharon. I don't know if your speakers are set up or not, but Sharon, you out there?
I'm here, Mark. Can you hear me?
I can. Now, Sharon, you used the friends and family section of the membership, which everybody is right down here. This is another huge perk of the membership. But tell us really quick what you did for, it was your sister, or what was the deal?
Yeah, my sister called, and her husband are celebrating their 40th birthdays in December.
Okay.
and they wanted to go to Kauai.
Okay.
So I went into my membership,
Right.
and we looked for, they're leaving on the 28th of November,
Right.
and coming back on the 5th of December.
Right.
And we were able to get them into a Wyndham Resort over in Kauai,
Mm-hmm.
which is absolutely phenomenal,
I love it.
for $649 for the week.
$649. Do you know, was it the Wyndham Valley Highs or which one was it? Do you know?
There's two over there,
Yeah.
and it's escaping me, but it's in Princeville, which
Yeah.
is one of the nicest resort areas on the island.
Yeah, I think I am almost positive that's the Wyndham Valley Highs, and if I knew how to spell Wyndham, Wyndham, is that how I spell Wyndham? Valley Highs?
Windham.
I don't know. Wyndham Valley
Yeah.
High. Wyndham Valley. Let's just type that in. Take them over to timeshares.com. Learn how to spell first. Like I don't know how. But see.
That's a tricky one. I do that too.
Yeah, Wyndham. Okay, so now Wyndham. But the thing is, with Wyndham Valley Highs, if you were to buy that resort, because I know people who have purchased there, you are talking about like 20 grand retail, and it's just too much. It's just too much money, my friends. Where here we go, Wyndham. No, neither of them are located there. But if let's say just the Wyndham in Kona, see what we get there. And this is right on Alehi Drive. I've been here. I've seen this one. Look at what these rates are going for. 17 G's for every other year. You're kidding. I mean, here's every other year at that resort, plus guaranteed maintenance fees of $500 to $1,000 a year. This is every other year for a 2-bedroom. You can go inside our membership and go to the Wyndham Kona all the time. It's in there all the freaking time. And these deals are just out of control. So you were able to hook. Now, how did that work, though, Sharon, when you hooked them up? Because I've never booked for somebody else. You went to the instant bookings, correct?
Correct.
And you just booked it, and then you just filled in their name instead, or did you have to pay?
Yeah, I put in my sister's information and her credit card, and they sent me a confirmation email. They've called. It's first class service. I'm just amazed.
Mm-hmm. And our customer,
emails. Instantly.
And our customer service, everybody, is Monday through Friday. Our travel provider. It's Monday through Friday till I think 5 p.m. Eastern. The big difference between some of our competition is they have access to something called a live feed. Okay, follow this, everybody. They have something called a live feed, which means they get like dumping inventory. So there's a steady stream of inventory, so you don't get to request specific resorts. Like let's say you wanted to request, I want to go to Princeville in April. You get to put in a request to our travel provider. The travel provider then basically sends an alert to not just the resorts that we have contracts with, but the entire timeshare basis in Princeville, and says, we have ready buyers. You can't charge more than $699. Tell us what you got. See, that's what happened on an instant booking is people know that we are a huge source of travel money for their resorts. So anyway, it puts an alert out to Princeville, and then offers come back. That's how that game works. Now, our competition, usually they're just dealing with whatever the live feed, it's junk inventory. It's not that it's bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've stayed through our live feed many times. But the point is, that's all they have. They don't have the option to request Big Sky, Montana, 3rd week of March. That's a huge difference. A lot of times these guys don't have customer service either. It's a blind exchange service. You pay a fee, you show up. It's very ill at ease kind of situations, whereas what Sharon's talking about, you can call the home office, you can talk with them, they walk you through. If you're nervous, whatever, it's all good. That's the big difference. So got a couple questions from people who are here as guests, and then let's get to it. Can you explain that resale aspect again? Not quite clear on that. Okay, really quick, the whole idea of the resale is this. People buy their 2 weeks at this resort, blah, 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 and they pay $20,000, but they're buying it at the resort with the margarita, and they've done the hour-and-a-half high-pressure cooker negotiation down to get 2 weeks. The resale market is when these people come home and realize, they have the timeshare hangover going, oh my gosh, what did we do? We're bound to this thing now. We got it stuck with maintenance fees, blah, blah, blah. Or they just don't travel anymore, something happens. Then it goes on the resale market. The resale market is usually 50%. That's what timeshares only by timeshare.com is. It's 50% off. It's a bonanza. People love it, and that's where most people think the best deals are, because Expedia and Travelocity, they're just too much for one time. When you can pick up a resale timeshare for 5, 7, 8K, it's a way better deal. They just don't know we even exist to the same frickin' resort. That's, pardon my French, everybody, but that's the secret, and that's where the millions and millions are going to be made, is people just don't know we exist yet. And it's because we are driven. Here's the blessing and curse, and me is with some ownership in the company. Here's the curse. We don't do corporate marketing, meaning originally the founder of GRN was not going to have affiliates spreading this message. He was going to personally take it upon himself to have national campaigns to spread this message. Then somebody said, no, you've got to allow affiliates to do it because there's just some real benefits to it. They can make a bunch of money, you can change more lives, and the message can go more viral quicker, this and that and the other thing. So what it really is it's up to the affiliates to pump out the message. Chris, hopefully that worked and that explained. Now here's another question. Ken asked, with GRN, do you have to book in 7-day blocks, or can you book for like 3 or 4 days? There is such a thing as short holidays. We do have short holidays, but timeshare units are always 7 days. They're usually check-in Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and they're always 7-day cycles. Now, I've gone to Hawaii and I've gone to Mexico, and I've stayed for 5 days, but I paid $298. So a lot of times on these deals, you're only paying $450. So if you stay 3 days, it's still just a little over the 100 and some change a night. So the way I look at it is it's 7-day blocks mostly, and it's such a steal. Even if you stay 3 or 4 days, it doesn't really matter. But that's the answer. Timeshare is always 7-day blocks because people come in the weekends and they stay a weekend to a weekend. So that's another great question from someone who's looking to join. Here's another one. So do you not need a membership to get the rates? She booked for her family for her membership. Yes, she personally, let me make sure I answered this clear, Mary. She owns the membership, okay? Sharon purchased the membership. So Sharon has the platinum. Inside the platinum membership, there's the friends and family that she can book for her friends and family. Now, it's illegal to book things and then sell them, because some people have tried that, I guess. I never realized people would do that. But some people have gotten weeks and tried to sell them because they're so cheap to like third party. But you can book for somebody else. The name and stuff has to be there at the time of booking, that kind of stuff. But for friends and family, you can shell out vacations to them. It's not always the exact same system, and it's not the exact same database that the platinum member has, but it's still a pretty good database. In fact, it's the database that our competition uses as their primary, pretty much. Live feeds and these kind of things. Hopefully that makes sense. Mary, does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. Joining, hey, Boston is with us. Awesome. Okay, does GRN offer travel packages for transportation such as airlines and cruises? There are some cruise and travel things, but we don't really promote them because profit deals on airlines, everybody, those days are 1980s. Those days are gone. I mean, the airlines are struggling just to make any kind of profit. So deals on air almost don't exist anywhere. So our search engine doesn't do anything more than Expedia will do for you in that regard. The cruises, there are some special cruises that come along, but as a GRN affiliate, we do not market the cruise aspect because it's a different kind of animal to get into the cruising. There's some different kind of legislation on cruises. That's why you don't see cruises on our corporate websites, and that's why we don't promote them on webinars like this. But I can say if you become a member inside, our travel provider does have cruise specials. Hopefully that answers that question. We're doing good. Okay, you guys lost me. Can you hear me yet? Am I back? Okay, shoot me a yes if you can hear me. Shoot me a yes. Can you hear me? Yep, okay, we lost. I guess I was lost. So, Somebody just asked, can you book 2 or 3 consecutive weeks at any one place? There's some gray area here, everybody, and let me be really, I don't want to mislead anybody, but I also don't want to close the door on something I know to be true. A lot of times at these places, they've already agreed that they will pay, that you can pay, you know, $525 to stay there. So what you do is you work with our travel provider and say, we want to be there 3 weeks straight. Can we triple that fee? We've had people, I've talked to people who in the comments when you're requesting, like it might be a 1 bedroom that you request, or that's all that's available to request, and they just say, we'd really like a 2 bedroom upgrade if possible, and then they get them for free. There's a lot of flexibility in the world. You don't know if you don't ask, but the answer is yes. Many people have stayed 2 or 3 weeks at one resort. One of our teammates, he loves Hawaii, and we have 41 resorts in Hawaii. So he bought it so he can spend a week here, a week here, a week at Princeville, and he's staying just a huge Hawaiian voyage. And pretty much with Hawaii, I can give you some examples right now of what's in our hot week, is if you go to our hot weeks, many times you can get 298 weeks in Hawaii, but other times you got to pay the full, you know, $525 or whatever. But let me show you real quick what we got in Hawaii right now. If you were in the Hawaiian state of mind, you can go to Hawaii, and there's several different islands. I'm working on it, everybody. Give me a second. Okay, so here's the Wyndham Valley Highs, 2 bedrooms, $398 in Princeville. Okay, this is in December during the rain. The waterfalls are the most miraculous during December. It's unbelievable. Banyan Harbor, I've actually been there. That was my first ever use of this membership. 2 bedroom. It's actually a 2-story. It's a really, really cool place. Directly across from the ocean. $398. So here, technically, you know, just look around. This is another Wyndham, and these are that we got a bunch of options in Hawaii right now. But anyway, the answer here's Shell Vacations. These guys are great too. This is another. I really like the Shell properties. I did a tour through this property, and it was, what was it? It was no, it wasn't this Shell. It was one on Kauai, but it was $20,000 for like 2 weeks a year. So the answer, yes, is you can book multiple times and stay at the same resort and things like that. Okay, let's see. How do I join? Okay, this is great. Mark, that question is the best question we've got yet. Okay, how do I join? And let me get to this. Hang on, we've got